Hey, good afternoon and welcome back to Tuesday Trainings. I'm Melissa Kirkpatrick, the business and life coach that's going to take you on this journey every Tuesday for free in order to help you start thinking about how you want to live that best next version of yourself. And we're talking business, we're talking life, we're talking finances, we're talking relationships, we're talking health and wellness. All of those things are going to be shared as I start giving you these inside training with the drive inside so that you can level up, start scaling your mind, your money, and your momentum to live your best life. As I mentioned, I'm Melissa Kirkpatrick. I am the author of Find Your Own Drive, and I'm also the business owner of Melissa Kirkpatrick Business Coaching. I've been on this training ground for some time, and I love the experiences that I have had up until now. The thing is we always got to think about what today's topic is embracing the unknown and aligning with our zone of genius. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So if you're coming in, give us a hi down below in the comments. And if you're watching the replay, hit that you're watching the replay. I'm always happy to have off-camera conversations with those of you who are wanting to ask more questions or get into a deeper conversation. Feel free to message me in my inbox. But for today, we are talking about embracing the unknown and aligning with your zone of genius. So here's what I know for sure. We all have been on this, we've all been in this feeling, state of mind of the unknown. It's like being on a desert island. If only I had that crystal ball so I could know what the future could tell me about what's next. What's the next best investment? What's the next best move? What's the next best whatever that is, right? We all have been in this experience of unknowingness. You know, when you were growing up, there was a lot of unknowns. You didn't know because your parents took care of a lot of the stuff that you didn't know about. But think about as you got older and you started getting to make those decisions and driving a car, graduating high school, or going off to college, or maybe even you married and had children. That adulting thing, there was a lot of unknowns and still are a lot of unknowns for most of us, right? So what does that look like as we talk about embracing those unknowns? So all of the things that's happened in the past, we have learned to look at as those were experiences. We had the faith, the confidence that everything was going to work out to our highest and best good. But then as we tend to do more things, we start getting this fear state of mind, this feeling of this doesn't seem right, or I'm not certain that this is the best direction. And then we start doing what I say, fly by the seat of our pants or shooting from the hip. And what kind of results do you often get in that? Sometimes we get really great results, while other times, maybe not so much. So I want to help you start thinking about how you embrace the unknown in order for you to align with your zone of genius. And it all starts with 3 very simple things that you're going to learn about towards the end of the video so that you can start putting it into action for yourself. But I want to go back and tell you first about my own experience as becoming a teacher. So the unknown was evident. I didn't know what it was going to look like in order for me to go full-time into college, raise my 2 boys, manage our household, have my relationships with my marriage, all of that. But I knew that my desire was stronger than my excuses. And so I had to make that leap of faith, as they say, in knowing that everything is going to work out in my highest and best good. Or even you've heard, take the leap and build your wings on the way down. It was really aligning with that feeling. But I'll tell you what, when I got through those 4 years of school and got into that first year of teaching, it was not what I thought I signed up for. I thought it was going to be the easiest thing ever because I had a passion for teaching. Ever since I was a young girl, I loved teaching others. But what I experienced was what they taught me in college had nothing to show me what was going to happen that first day when I closed that door behind me and that first set of students were looking at me with anticipation of what is she going to say and what is she going to do. And I'm be honest, and I've talked to my other teacher friends, it's scary as hell because the unknown is even more unknown. I didn't know how I was going to be a teacher and do the things, but now I'm in this classroom that I worked 4 years to get to, and now the unknown is even stronger. I wanted to run out of that classroom because I didn't know that what I could do or say that would ease this pain of unknowingness. But I had to remember it's always awkward before it's elegant. You take that first small step and you start discovering, okay, not so bad, not so bad. I'm not going to lie. Every day I came home, I cried because I'm like, oh my gosh, I gave up this job to do this job and I don't know that I can do it. And I cried and cried. And then it got to the point where I might just have a drink because it just felt so unfamiliar. I didn't know. So how did I embrace that unknowingness? And what I just said, it was about just taking back that confidence, that clarity of, okay, I'm doing this because I'm good at this. I want to teach others. I love teaching. It's my zone of genius, which we're going to talk more about aligning with that. So I was able to just move step by step and able to say, I don't know what I don't know, which the students didn't know either, but I'm going to keep every day coming in and doing the stuff that I know that I was taught to do in order to run and facilitate a classroom and be this awesome teacher that was in my vision, that was on my vision board. You know, I have a client too that one of the things that she had to figure out was, how do I get beyond where I'm currently at with my business? So she makes her own products. Many of you probably have seen her, and I did an interview with her recently, Erin Christian, who has Earthganics. And so when we started working together, her fear of the unknown was, what do I do next? What if I do this and it scales and I can't make enough inventory to fill the orders? And so we talked about a simple shift in that. Well, the unknown is we don't know. But if we want to set a guideline of, well, how many products can you make at one time? Because she was kind of piecemealing them as she would get the orders, you know, and maybe 10 here and 20 there or something like that. But she's doing batches, you know, big containers. And so those big containers can make smaller products. And so we talked about PARs. How many do you want to keep in inventory? So if you know that your bug spray is a hot item, you may want to have 50 to 100 of those on your shelf ready to go, so that you're not keeping 20 trying to, you know, make a new batch to make 20 more, make a new batch. It became just that awareness of the unknown was, as long as the products are made, there's nothing I have to worry about. Is there enough product? Can I manage the supply and demand? And that again, it was one of those simple things that the unknown was suffocating her. She may not use the word suffocating, but was keeping her stuck and stalled to where she couldn't move. It becomes like a paralyzed feeling. And so when she was able to embrace the unknown, feeling confident, having the clarity, I can have 100 bug sprays on my shelf and know that I'm going to sell those. And when I get down to 50 or 25, I'm going to make another big batch to fill back up to 100. That's going to cause ease and flow. That's going to allow me to have ease and flow. So that was her embracing the unknown. She didn't know if she could sell 100. Now she is moving into that next level. She has more products. She has online. She's in a lot of storefronts. She has a catalog business. She's reached her 6-figure mark with ease and going to totally do multiple 6 figures this year because she had learned to adapt and adjust to the unknown. Does that make sense? So where are you keeping yourself stuck and stalled or afraid to move forward because of the unknown? If you want to move quickly or rapidly or get out of, it's about embracing the unknown. You've heard that expression, you know, damn the torpedoes and just go forward anyway. That is what I'm saying. It's about you knowing yourself. Get on your butt. Listen, what's the next thing that I can do in order to get out of this unknowingness of what's next? Your gut, your heart will tell you what to do next. I know I wanted to be a teacher. I was passionate about teaching. And after that first year, I loved teaching. But 7 years in, I opted to leave that career and move into owning and operating golf courses. That's a whole nother training that I'll do another time. But for now, just letting you know, it's that gut instinct. That's that intuition. That's just that knowingness that you get when you get the butterflies in your stomach or you get a tingle and it's like, yes, this feels good. This feels in alignment with what I want to do next. And so that's how we embrace the unknown. But what does that look like if I'm embracing the unknown, but also wanting to align with my zone of genius? The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks is the best book that I have ever read. I read it the first time in 2011, and I just refer to it often. He has some great understanding about how we upper limit ourselves, how we hit glass ceilings and can't get beyond them, how we live in our zone of excellence because it's more comfortable to be there than to live in our zone of genius. There's even the competence and incompetence zone areas as well. But I want to talk about how we're taking the embracing the unknown and aligning it with our zone of genius. And this takes some time and effort for you to be able to match that. And I'm going to tell you the 3 things that you can do in order to be able to align with both of these, embracing the unknown and being in your zone of genius. I'll give you that here towards the end. But right now, that zone of genius is about What lights you up? What energetically do you feel inside of you that lights you up, that you could do all day long if there was nothing else to do? Now, for me, I could lay on the beach at the ocean all day long. That lights me up. Is that my zone of genius? Not necessarily, but it is allowing me to tap into my zone of genius because I can come into that space and recognize the value of me being in that calm state of mind so that I can get downloads and I can get information that I can use for myself when I'm creating these programs or these trainings or working with my clients one-on-one. So it does align with my zone of genius. The other thing when I talk about brings you joy, I know most of you know I have a granddaughter who's 7 years old, red hair, blue eyes, amazing. Hey, Carol, thank you for the love. Glad to see you here. But my granddaughter, that brings me so much joy. I can go from being in a really bad mood to a really happy mood instantly when I hear her voice, see a picture of her, or in her presence. And then the other thing is about how it ignites something inside of me. What does it do for me? So aligning with your zone of genius when you're in the unknown is finding these ways that you can actually bring in this feeling, this emotion. And that's the thing that I want to share with you in all of this. The thing that, I have some notes over here, that's why I keep looking over there, is, you know, for me, I always knew that I wanted to be a teacher. I was playing teacher in my bedroom when I was a girl growing up. I love teaching people new things. When I was in the business arena as an executive secretary, I was teaching executives how to use new software, how to create new processes and systems. Then I was in the adult ed arena teaching adult education classes to moving into the high school teaching IT classes. But then when I moved into owning and operating the golf courses, I was teaching women about the game of golf and how to show up and find their own drive. And now I'm teaching others outside of the golf course on their journey in business and life. And so what I share with that for you is that's when I know that's my zone of genius is teaching. I love to teach. I love to learn. I'm a lifelong learner. I love to teach and I love to inspire others to be lifelong learners and to always be learning more about themselves. Oh, thank you, Carol. My granddaughter, she said, is beautiful. I agree. And I appreciate you saying that. You've got some pretty awesome grandchildren yourself. And you know that feeling, right? It just lights you up, just so much energy. So back to the zone of genius is that's it. It's the thing that makes you feel so good that you would do it anyway, whether you were being paid or if anyone was listening. That's where you tap into the zone of genius. And I can talk more to you about that because everybody's a little bit different when they're trying to find it because they get that unknown in the way, or they get that imposter syndrome, or they get that fear that, well, maybe that isn't my zone of genius. Maybe that's a waste of time or waste of energy. Maybe there's something more. And it's building out that conversation and really recognizing where you can start finding more about yourself when you're willing to let go of the unknown and tap into your zone of genius. I've worked with realtors. I've worked with physicians. I've worked with product developers. I've worked with network marketing. I've worked with multi-level marketing. I've worked with a lot of industries over the years and I've come in contact and I know all of us have a zone of genius. You're not just a realtor. You're not just a chiropractor. You're not just making a product. There's a passion. There's a fire. There's a light. There's an ember inside of you that is growing and getting stronger if you allow that to be so. And if you believe that to be true, start working on ways that you can make that shine. So the thing that I want to leave you with is one of the areas that we oftentimes don't give ourselves permission is knowing that out of any situation, good will come. When you're finding your path on this journey, it's about hope. And hope is one of those things that we have had since the start. And I love the movie Hope Floats. And in that, she talks about what Mama always says. She talks about beginnings are usually scary and endings are usually sad. But it's the middle that if you allow hope to float up, it usually does. And yet this gives me cold chills throughout my body because I understand that it's the hope that we start with so that we can move ourselves forward. And it's embracing that unknown so we can really tap into our zone of genius, so we can come here and live that best life, so that we can have the health, the wellness, the financial, the time freedom, the relationships, the experiences, the business, and the life that you deserve. You came here to play big, my friend, and I want to encourage you to do that. And that's why I'm offering these trainings. In addition to being a teacher, I'm a motivator too. I love to motivate others to step outside of the uncomfortableness and just bring in all of what is inside of you already. And so, what's the formula? You are. The formula for embracing your unknowingness and also aligning with your zone of genius is you are the formula. It's you. And here's the 3 things I want you to remember taking away from this training. 1, your thoughts becomes things. Whatever you're thinking is creating your reality. Your thoughts becomes things. So choose the good ones. The second one is where energy goes, energy flows. So what energy frequency are you on? Are you on an energy frequency that is raising your vibration, making you feel good, doing the things that light you up? Or are you in that frequency that's low and not allowing you to shine or live your best life? You know, I recently rebranded with my butterfly and the lighthouse in the middle, letting your light shine. Keep shining, because it's about you building that light, that lighthouse in the bedrock so that you can shine for others, but also shine for yourself. And the third one is what I just shared about hope. If you give hope a chance, it will float up. And all the clarity and all the understanding that you need to know what's your next best step forward will come into light, will come into play. It'll come out of the shadows, my friend. And I know that you're here to play big. So if there's anything I can do to help you further, please reach out to me, drop the conversation or in the comments, or drop a message in my messenger. But I am here in support of you. Yes, Carol, we say, let's live in our zone of genius. You are definitely a light. You are built in that bedrock, because what you're doing in your community with Beautiful Faces Going Places is evidence that you didn't know, but embrace the unknown, and now you're living in your place of zone of genius, and we want that for you as well. So thank you for watching. Drop it again. As always, I'm sending you tons of love, lots of light. Have an amazing day, and I'll look forward to next Tuesday for training. But stay here in the group, because there's always good nuggets that I like to share. I'll talk to you soon, but bye for now.